Hello, Assalamu alaikum and good evening. Welcome to another episode of Health is Wealth. I am your host, Hzw. Okay, today, the 29th of September, we are going to talk about World Retina Day because that's what it is today. Today is World Retina Day, and this is something that is observed around the world in the last week of September. What is the point of this day? The point is, of course, to raise awareness, as are, specific days when they are assigned to a particular date around the globe or around the year. And for this year, on September the 29th, 2018, the global retinal community of patients, scientists, and allied health professionals will mark World Retina Day with a call for action by the national healthcare systems, and it is to provide equitable access to genetic testing services for inherited retinal degenerations. Now that sounds like a bit of a mouthful, but we have our experts here today and our guests, and they're going to explain to us, why this is important and what we need to look out for, because, the main thing about your health is that you are empowered when you have information and you have knowledge and you know exactly who's at risk for a particular disease or health issue. So we're very happy to have with us in the studios today. I'd like to introduce Dr. Atif Johan, who's a consultant ophthalmologist. You did your MRC and FRCS, and you're here with us today, and we're going to get lots of answers to the questions. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Seated next to Dr. Atif is Rabel Pirzada. She's the Chief Coordinator for the PFFB. Rabel, it's wonderful to have you here today. And we're going to really enjoy talking to you and, finding out so much about what it is that we need to know. And so it's great to have you on the program.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Dr. Atif, if I start with you, and, so the viewers at home who, not everyone has been a biology student.
Yes, of course.
So some people may not know exactly what the function of the retina is, why it's important, and what is its function.
Right from the start, from our basic medical knowledge, we've always divided eye into different segments. Retina, when we specifically talk of retina, that is the main seeing part of the eye that connects the eye to the brain. So all the nerves going into starting from the retina connect to the brain, and any damage to this obviously would cause significant visual impairment. So this is what you can say the basic and most important part of the eye.
Okay, right. So what are the common diseases and what symptoms should our viewers be looking out for?
Okay. Talking about this particular Retina Day, we divide the retinal condition into two parts. One is inherited, which we're going to talk about more in today's program, and the other one is the acquired ones.
Okay.
Acquired ones, for example, if someone has diabetes, blood pressure, they're smokers, that causes damage to the retina, which is not inherited, but acquired. Inherited retinal degenerations, these are passed on from parents to the child or grandparents to the child.
It can skip a generation.
It can skip a generation.
Okay.
Yes. So this is these are the two main categories of retinal diseases which we come across every day.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
And for somebody who, as you said, has diabetes, or is a smoker, or has high blood pressure, what should they be doing? What should they be looking out for? What symptoms?
Whenever these types of patients come to me, other than looking into the eye, ask them about their general health conditions. Is their diabetes well controlled? Is their blood pressure well controlled? Smoking is one of the big risk factors for any problems for the retina.
Why is that?
Because smoke has, or someone who's smoking, they release lots of toxins inside the body.
Okay.
These toxins affect the lungs, the heart, the brain, and the eye. So that causes damage to these organs.
Because of the toxins.
The first thing that patients notice is a reduced vision.
Reduced vision.
Yes, that's the most important symptom that they notice whenever they come to us for consultation.
Okay, right. We're going to be, moving back and forth between both of you, and we're going to get all the medical, expertise from you. I'd like to now talk to Rabel. Rabel, tell us a bit about what you do and how you came about being a chief coordinator.
Well, my name is Rabel Pirzada, and I belong to Multan. Currently, I am doing job in Pakistan Foundation Fighting Blindness, like chief coordinator.
Right.
and I'm not blind by birth. At the age of 12, I got accident. So I lost my vision. So that was very difficult period for me and for my parents.
Of course.
But my parents and my organization, they aware me and they support me a lot. So I have done masters in English and the first visual impaired girl in Multan who did masters in English and moved as a personality groomer on national and international level.
That's fantastic.
I got lots of awards, like Gold Award, Pride of Pakistan, Star of Pakistan, international awards, and I'm also a first blind teacher in Bikanau school system. That also is of national, international level. I'm also a karate champion. I got a training about Taekwondo art. That's purpose is to self-protection, how we can how we can protect ourselves and its self-defense type. So I would like to all credit my parents and my organization that I'm here in front of you just because of that people's.
Well, that's fantastic because you're a success story, mashallah.
Thank you.
And that's, something that is so heartwarming and heartening to see. What kept you motivated? Because as you said, at the age of 12, you had this accident and then you became visually impaired. So the psychological impact as well, how did you get through everything so that other people who are watching, who are, also going through a problem like that they can get some motivation, inspiration from you? Where was your strength?
Oh, well, in our country, special people are still abandoned from the players and the basic needs of life just because they are unable to contribute towards finances, resources of the family. Actually, parents and family also feel reluctant to contribute them to introduce them in front of others.
That's true.
Due to this behavior, children, we suffer a lot.
Very true.
And we become a victim, inferiority complex, mental disorder, psychological problem, and lots of things. But our organization works for visually impaired person with passion from last 30 years. From last 30 years, we are doing for education, IT, personality grooming, cooking, income generation, confidence building, and self-defense, and each and everything. So my inspiration and my role model is late Ma'am Saima Amar. She was my teacher and she was late CEO of PFFV.
Right. She was, of course, everyone, when you talk to somebody who's been through a challenge, they will always have a mentor or somebody who's been there, who's been able to take you forward. Right, okay, we'll come back to you, Rabil. Dr. Atif, we spoke about symptoms of the retina when you said that the smokers and the diabetic patients, high BP. It's reduced vision.
Yes.
Right, now, many times something's going on with you and you're not really aware of it. So these are the people who are at high risk.
Yes.
What about people who don't have these health complications? What should they be doing?
Yes, lots of time. Reduced vision is one of the symptoms which patients present with. Another symptom which is very common in otherwise normal person is they come to you and say they're not able to see during the night or dim light, night blindness.
Okay.
So that's one of another major symptom which patients come to you with.
Right.
And they would say, oh doctor, we are okay during the day, but right after sunset, we have difficulty walking into in a dim lit room. So that should raise some alarm bells that you need to find out what's going on with these kinds of patients, because otherwise they're completely normal. And the thing with inherited retinal degenerations is that you get lots of young generation, like children come to you, teenagers come to you, people in their 20s, otherwise healthy. You find out about their medical condition, they don't have diabetes, they don't have blood pressure. So otherwise they would look completely normal to you.
Okay.
But there's something going on in the eye, which you need to find out and address the condition.
Right. Now, as you said, this can also skip a generation.
Yes.
Can it be possible that a grandparent had a problem,
Yes.
it wasn't diagnosed,
Yes.
and then the grandchild comes forward and they actually don't know that it is in the family.
It happens lots of times.
Okay.
Because in older generation, or maybe you go back about 30 or 40 years, the awareness wasn't as good as it is today. And lots of children come to you and they say, oh, our grandparents had some eye problem, we're not sure what it was. They had problem seeing, they went to the doctors, but eventually they got blind. But the problem with that is they would not be able to tell you the diagnosis.
Right.
And you would then have to go through their history, the grandparents' history, parents' history, why did the grandparents lose their eyesight?
Okay.
And then you come to a conclusion that, oh, it's because of this inherited condition.
So, if there is some damage that's happening and occurring to the retina, it's very important to have it looked into because it can result in blindness.
It can, yes.
Okay, right.
Yes.
So as you said, the symptoms are the reduced vision,
night blindness.
and the night blindness. Is it also the sort of blurry vision?
Yes, cloudy vision,
Cloudy vision?
distorted vision.
Okay.
And sometimes they say that if they're looking straight, they're not able to see the periphery.
Okay.
So it's called tunnel vision.
Is that anything to do with balance as well?
No,
No, not at all.
That's right.
Okay, right. So those are some of the symptoms that Dr. Atif is telling us about, and a person should always be aware of, especially the the issues, the health issues that you spoke about. Those people should be really, really conscious of what's happening with their eyesight. Whereas on a sort of regular basis screening, if we talk about screening, when should a person have an eye test?
Right from the start, school-going age. The moment you admit a child to a school, lots of schools have these programs where they invite doctors or opticians to evaluate the child. And I've done it myself in my children's school. 4-year-old, 5-year-old, I did a complete screening test. And surprisingly, around 20% of children needed glasses and they weren't aware of
imagine that. That is 1/5.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
a huge percentage, isn't it?
Yes.
So that is really important. What Dr. Atif said right now is that so many people are, because when we're thinking of putting young children into school, we're focusing on so many things: the school that we're sending them to, the syllabus, the books, the transition from leaving the house to go into school away from home. But not many people would have thought of this to get their child's eyesight tested. Very, very important there. Okay, Rabil, tell me about your work. You told me that you're mentoring and you're training other girls as well. And how's that been? And what have been those those moments when you've thought, this is I've really achieved something? You're one of those happy moments in an achievement. What have they been?
Actually, in our organization, we are doing lots of projects. We are doing, because visual impaired have similar problem which face any other person.
Right.
So when I was age of 12, on that time, my life was like dark night. No candlelight is here, and I don't know what is my life, and what is my motto, and what is I will. So on that time, my teacher Etaka Khadija, she lived in England. She came to Pakistan and she told me, then why you'll waste your life? So first start your hands.
Okay.
Then start yours, yours here.
Okay.
That is your main and major power.
Okay.
So first I did start puppets. And she taught me puppets, kussa making, rug making, clutch making, and the puppet, they dance on the floor and each kind of thing. So when I knew about these kind of thing, and then I decided that this is my complete life.
Right.
Now I don't know. Now I don't need to learn something and education and any other thing. But on that time, I will thankful PTV World. So on that time, Madam Saima Amal gave interview from this channel, and she's explained that please, if you have any kind of eye disease, if you cannot see, so please come our
and that's
organization.
where you heard about the organization.
So,
okay.
Yes. So
Right.
then I start my journey,
Right.
and now I'm doing MPhil in English language
That's
tracks.
fantastic, and and we wish you all the best in life, 'cause that's
Thank
fantastic.
you.
And it's great to see, that you're so inspired, and the main thing is that you're inspiring others. You're taking on the
Thank you.
role of being a trainer, and you're being able to help all those other people as well. Okay, now tell us about, you know, as you said, that when, you know, you've lost your sight. So the other senses, are they more aware now? They're working more for you.
Yes.
So how do you pick up, you know, when you enter a room or something? So
First, I just observe myself, and I count my steps. That after 3 steps, there is table and there is chair, and the best thing is my white cane. White cane is my best friend. She helped me a lot. So I move around here and there, and I travel all over the country alone.
Right. Alone?
Yes.
Right. And what is the response? Are people helpful to you? And what awareness, by using this program, what would you like to tell people, you know, so how they can, you know, be more helpful and supportive?
Well, sometimes people help me, and sometimes not. And sometimes they said, OMG, that is visual impaired. Oh, where is wheelchair? Quickly, wheelchair come over there, and she sit here and she go, and I said, no, I'm not handicapped.
Right.
I'm visual impaired. So there's many type of people, and lots of experience we face day by day. And but first I was very sensitive, and I heard what they saying. Now I'm enjoying.
Okay.
Because now I see around my, so I think lots of people, they have done masters in English, lots of people, they have done MPhil, PhD, CSS, each and everything. But some unique people, they have done these kind of things, and they are visual impaired. So lots of visual impaired persons are CSS officer, psychiatrists, pharmacy doctors, they all are visual impaired, but they are doing very well.
Yes, that's absolutely true. And you know, what you said is absolutely so true. That the way, sometimes, you know what, I think sometimes people just get confused.
Yes.
And they don't actually know how to react.
Yes.
True.
So they don't actually know what to do. So they actually want to help, but at the same time, they don't know how to help. So as you said, you know, the message that is very important is to understand that, you know, there are other things, there are so many things that you can be doing. So this is a sensitive issue, and, you know, the worst thing you can do is say something that will make another person, you know, feel that you're feeling sorry for them, because that's not what they want. They want you to be confident in their abilities. So that's very important. And in fact, I would say to you, Raibel, that you should definitely write a book about your experiences. And, you know, so that other people can also, you know, people who are visually, not just visually impaired people, but people as well can understand what it's like and what, you know, how people can help you. So I think that would be something that I'll definitely talk to you about after the program. Okay, Dr. Atif, now as we talked about, you know, the diseases of the retina and the symptoms, what is the cure for then the retinal degeneration?
Right. Again, coming back to the basic point that some conditions are inherited and some are acquired. Lots of acquired conditions do have some kind of treatment benefit. You can say that if you go for the regular eye checkup and you find a retinal disease, for diabetic, for example, we take diabetes. So if we find a problem related to diabetes in the retina, then the treatment is available. Okay. Similarly, if we are talking of blood pressure, uncontrolled blood pressure, and we see a problem in the retina, there are lots of treatment options available in the system. But when we are talking of inherited retinal degenerations, I'm afraid we are still in very infancy stage. Lots of diseases do not have any cure, or you can say they're still under trials going on in Europe, in the United States. And I was actually reading last night that lots of trials are stage 1 or stage 2. Until they reach stage 4, stage 5, we won't be able to offer the treatment to the general population. But that does not mean that help is not available. Even if someone knows that the condition is non-treatable, there are lots of other community support groups, your doctors, your healthcare professionals. They can kind of guide you about what to do, how to live your life, how to progress. Having a disability does not mean that you should stop doing anything in life. You should pursue your career. You should try and lead as much normal life as you can.
Absolutely. And in fact, you know, there are many cases when you've heard that a person who has developed a disability, actually, after, you know, dealing with, you know, the fact that, okay, this has happened, they actually prove to be more successful.
Yes, definitely.
Because then, you know, they have that inspiration that, okay, this is something, it's a challenge I'm facing, and I've got to excel in it, as I would say, definitely in Rabel's case as well. Okay, you know, you mentioned the diabetes, you're talking a lot about that. People who are diabetic, what should they be? They should be having of course, their sugar checked and the levels. And
diabetes is a condition which is most common in Pakistan, and we see lots and lots of eye problems related to diabetes. So that's why I'm concentrating more on diabetic eye diseases.
Right.
It's what we call a multidisciplinary condition. So it involves the eyes, it involves the heart, kidneys, everything. So I would say that if anyone who has a family history of diabetes should, right from the start, get it checked once a year, whether they've got
regardless
diabetes,
of whether they
irrespective
are
of they're diabetic or not.
Okay.
That's a lifelong thing. Once they find out that they have diabetes, then regular eye check, regular medical check, that's very important. What I normally recommend is if someone has good control of diabetes, they should have a check for their eyesight and the eye condition at least once every 6 months. If not, definitely once a year.
Right.
There are lots of international screening programs, not in Pakistan but internationally, where it's not done by doctors, but it's done by retina specialist technicians who send a letter out to the patient once every year.
Right.
That you need to come in, get your eyes examined, and photographs are taken, and those photographs are then sent to the doctors for assessment.
So that they can detect anything early on. Okay, we'll get back to the conversation. Right now we've got to go for a break. Don't change the channel. Okay, welcome back to the program. Dr. Atif, you know, we're talking a lot about various diseases and, you know, things that influence our eyes, the retina, and, you know, the health of our eyes in general. We spoke about diabetes as well, and as you said, to keep it under control, because that's one of the, you know, main problems that makes, you know, a problem for a person's eyesight and damages the eyes as well. Now let's talk about the retina as the detached retina. What does that mean? How does it happen? And how does one know?
Okay. Retina is a 10-layered structure. And it is attached, each layers are attached to each other at the back of the eye. So due to any disease or trauma or any condition, these layers separate from each other. It's known as a detached retina.
Okay, so that can happen after, as you're saying, trauma.
Trauma is one of the major causes of getting a
sort
retinal
of a punch to
detachment.
the eye?
It
or?
could be anything from a punch to the eye to sharp injury, to an accident, road traffic accident. Lots of times the retina is so thin. For example, someone who's very short-sighted,
Okay.
and they wear these big thick glasses, they're at a high risk of developing a retinal detachment.
Okay.
The reason is that the retina is very weak, and with the passage of time it develops holes or tears. The retina develops holes or tears, and that leads to a detached retina. Most commonly patients present to you within a few hours sometimes, within a day or two of trauma, or and the main symptom is they see lots and lots of flashing lights, floaters, or a black curtain coming down which is not clearing up. They'll come to you and say that we're seeing lots of flashing, and there's a shadow which is coming into the field of vision and it's not clearing up.
Okay.
And these are three major signs of symptoms of
detached retina.
detached retina.
And that's not necessarily, it doesn't have to be trauma, it can be...
It could be short-sightedness, which is due to thinning of the retina that leads to detached retina. Again, going back to these medical conditions, they can lead to a detached retina. Lots of, there are not too common but rare infections include like viral infections. They can lead to detached retina. But the most important thing is it needs to be treated urgently.
Right, okay.
Yes.
You know, we see a lot, we're engaged a lot with gadgets.
Yes.
So we've got lots of screens in front of us. If it's not the computer screen, then it may be a tablet, it may be a laptop. A phone is something that a person is sort of, you know, staring into a lot. So does that make a difference to your eyesight as well? Is there
It
something we
causes
should be
straining
careful
of the eye. It won't lead to any retinal condition, retinal detachment, but it leads to straining of the eye if you spend too much time on these gadgets. Unfortunately, there's no way we can get rid of these gadgets. We have to accept the fact that this is how our
They're
life
part
is.
of our lives now.
Exactly. There are certain things which we recommend that if you need glasses, don't go onto these gadgets without putting your glasses on. The light in the room should be pretty good. Children are used to using these gadgets at night with lights completely shut off in the room with the dark. But these are the things which we guide the parents.
That causes strain to be.
It causes the strain, and then nowadays new research is coming out.
So sort of the under the covers checking the messages is not a good idea.
Exactly.
So exactly. Don't, you know, sabotage your eyesight for doing that. You want to be careful. Look after your eyes.
True. Yes, that's right.
Right. Rabel, tell us, you know, tell us a bit about your method of education. Now, we know about Braille. Tell us a bit about the other things that are employed.
Well, there are two types of visual impaired in our country or in our world. First, they are by birth blind, and the second is late blind. When the by birth blind, they read and they taught with Braille. Braille basically stands on 6 dots.
Okay.
And then they are complete their education and each and everything. But like me, we are late blind. We don't know about Braille, and we know about alphabet like A, like B, like C. Okay, but in Braille there are A for 1 for A, 1 2 B, 1 4 C, 1 4 5 it's D. So it's very difficult for late blind.
I see.
It would be very difficult for us
to learn Braille.
Yes.
Okay.
So how we complete our education, we complete our career and each and everything. So on that time, in 1995, Madam Saima Ammar, first time in history of Pakistan, they introduced audio library.
Okay.
Yes. And we have two types of library. First, educational library. We have course 5th till masters. And the second is pleasure listening, like novel, like digest, that travelogue, etc. So now we are talking about assistive aids. Time to time we are going lots of new things. First is cassettes, and then CD, then USB. Now it's e-books is also available. That you have one book, and I want to know that what is this in this book.
Right.
So I scan in the computer, and that material would be convert these kind of medium that visual impaired person can read easily. We can use our computer, our cell phone, that our screen reader, JAWS. It would be help us to, like I have cell phone and I have lots of media like WhatsApp and Facebook, Gmail, each and everything I'm using, and I manage my things. So first my sister said that she uploaded her pictures in Facebook, and I said, on that day, you were angry? She said, why? How you know? I know, you were sitting, but you were very angry. What is the reason? And she said, Mama, she can't see. And she's continuing, how she know about that? I was angry, and I was sitting, and I was standing. So I said, yes, it's a magic, because I am the Bilfizada. That's why I'm a fairy. So that was our softwares, that screen reader softwares, and now time is going on more than more. We have lots of creative, and we have also money reader. It's a software, and they know about, it's a 10 rupees, it's a 50 rupees, it's 1,000 rupees, each and everything.
Okay.
So now we also live with sighted person and the other things.
Okay. That is really fascinating. Now, you said about, the audio library.
Yes.
So the audio books, are they being developed in Pakistan, or do you have to buy them from abroad, or what's happening?
No.
Is
We have audio library. In 1995, Madam Saima Amar came into the Pakistan, and I told about that she lived in England. When she come back to Pakistan, and she thinking about visual impaired, then the late visual impaired, how they can complete their study. So we have studios, and we have audio engineers. And the one audio engineer, Muhammad Waqas, he's also visual impaired. And he is the first visual impaired who is handling audio books and editing and each and everything. So we have 2 libraries and 2 audio studios, sorry. We have 2 studios, and we are recording each kind of books. And you can say we just give the honorarium to readers. And our readers come from Radio Pakistan, television, and these kind of things, because you are our main inspiration, and you are a best future care for us. Because you recorded the books, and we also taught them, and we will pass our exams.
Can people volunteer for this?
Yes, sorry.
Yes. Can people volunteer for this?
Yes.
People who are watching the program?
Just volunteer, and we will give just only honorarium 500 rupees 1 hour. Just only.
I think that's a lovely thing to do, actually. I mean, that would be something fantastic for us to take out our time and to go and record some audio books like that, and then have them to facilitate other people. I think that's a wonderful idea. So if anyone is interested in that, they can volunteer for that.
But I want to explain that our service is to visual impaired person, that all our service is free, completely free to visual impaired person. Free education, free IT skills, and free personality grooming, income generation, each and everything.
That's fantastic.
We don't take any kind of money from visual impaired.
Right, that's great. Dr. Atif, now we are talking today about a specific theme. Now, if we talk about the eyes in general, it's just a question that popped into my mind right now. The importance of tears for the eye.
I think it's one of the most important part of the eye is producing tears.
Usually we overlook
yes, that's right. Lots of patients who have dry eyes, they actually suffer in life. They've got so many problems, even with menial tasks or day-to-day activities, because what happens is, try blinking on a dry eye.
Okay.
It causes lots of problems. It can lead to infections. It can actually lead to blindness.
Really?
Because tears, they not only provide the lubricating effect, they provide lots of nutrients, they provide oxygen to the cornea and the eye. So it's one of the most important component which the eye produces.
Right. So how do people get dry eyes? Is it something you're born with, something you're at risk for having, you develop later on? What
Dry
happens?
eyes, initially, children generally don't get dry eyes.
Okay.
With the passage of time, the tear ducts that produce the tears, they stop functioning, or if they are functioning, the quality of the tears is not as good as it's supposed to be. Again, environmental factors, your physical factors, your general health, they all contribute to alteration of the tear product, tear constituencies of the tears. So lots of people end up using supplemental eye drops, which is a tear replacement.
Okay.
But it's very difficult to manage with a dry eye.
Right, okay.
Yes.
And the symptoms, of course?
Most common symptom is foreign body sensation.
Foreign body sensation. And is this at the beginning of the...
right at the start, the patient comes to say,
okay.
they
So you
say,
feel that
doctor,
something...
otherwise we are fine, but there's something in the eye.
Scratching, something inside your
exactly.
eye. So that's something that's really important. I mean, for so many people, you would think that the dry eye is not something really figures a lot in your mind of it being a problem. So if you're getting a scratchy sensation of a foreign body in your eye, Dr. Atif is saying that that's something that you should get checked out.
Yes,
then what happens?
Depending on how severe the dry eyes is, we prescribe either drops or ask patients to avoid too much dry areas. Like during winters, you turn the heating on and the room becomes dry.
Right.
So lots of patients have more problems during winter time as compared to monsoon season or summertime. Then again, if someone is traveling abroad in an aeroplane, the cabin is dry. So they'll take their own tear supplements with them, and they say that they have to use more eye drops while flying. And like Middle Eastern countries, they've got very dry atmosphere, and there are lots of dry eye problems over there as well.
Okay.
So you just basically need to look after your eye.
Can excessive crying? No, that's a
excessive
myth.
crying is good.
Okay, right, okay. Rabil, what would you like the media to do? Like, we're having this program, and as you said as well, that you were able to find out about your organisation through PTV, through this channel. What's your message to other people who are, watching the program today? What would you like to say to people who are in control of what media comes out, what channels are being produced? What would you like to say to them?
First, I want to say to all of them that life is so beautiful. And it would be more beautiful when we spread happiness around the people, and if we spend for mankind. So I would like to say to all of you, if you know about any kind of blind, he or she is suffered this kind of disease, any kind of disease from eye, so please told them that there is one NGO which is working from visually impaired person from last 30 years. Our Facebook page is Pakistan Foundation Fighting Blindness. You can search it, you can survey it, and please come in our organization and make beautiful you and for us. Thank you.
That's a wonderful message. Okay, Dr. Atif, as you said that for a person who has these high-risk factors, they should be getting their eyesight screened
regularly.
With 6 months.
6 months.
A good
Ideally
idea.
6 months.
Yeah.
Yes.
Otherwise, what should we be doing? 1 year?
1 year is okay, but my message would be get your eyes checked regularly. Get your physical health checked regularly, because there are lots of general eye conditions which lead to problems in the eye. So a general medical checkup, maybe once every 6 months, because that just does not include diabetes or blood pressure. That includes your kidney function test, your cholesterol level, your lipid profile.
Those also affect the eyes?
Lipid, definitely cholesterol, high cholesterol and lipids, they affect the eye.
How does that affect the eyes?
They cause clogging of the retinal arteries, and then again that can lead to blockage of the arteries and damage to the retina. So every patient that comes to me with retinal eye conditions, I get their blood pressure assessed, I get their diabetes status assessed, and I get the lipid profile, most important.
Right. So if somebody is diagnosed with, say far-sighted, and they should be wearing glasses, but they're sort of, okay, I will and I will not, and they're a bit relaxed about it. Sometimes they're using the glasses, sometimes they're not. Is it true that your eyesight will further weaken?
Generally, the eyesight stabilizes at around 19 to 20 years of age. With children, I stress upon the parents as well and the child that you have to use glasses on a regular basis. There are lots of children who come to me and they say, oh, sometimes we put the glasses on, sometimes we don't use the glasses. But that leads to problems. That leads to straining of the eyesight. These children have problem. Even their studies are affected. There are lots of children who come to me and they say that the parents tell me that the teacher is saying that their grades have gone down, and the only thing they need was
the glasses.
Was the glasses.
Okay, that brings me to my next question: is that contact lenses? So, you know, you find that some people, they don't want the glasses; they want lenses instead. The basic care that should be observed using contact lenses, and what are the complications that could be there?
Right. Contact lenses, as everyone knows, that normally teenagers and people in their 20s, they're the most common wearers of contact lenses. You need to assess whether the person or the child sitting in front of you or the teenager sitting in front of you is responsible enough to handle a contact lens. There was a study which I read last week that there are about 3 to 4% of people who are wearing contact lenses have gone blind from wearing contact lenses.
From improper use.
Unhygienic use of contact lenses.
Just unhygienic.
Yes. And
whoa,
that led to
that is something. Okay, if you you know, if you're not looking after the hygiene of your contact lenses, you actually can go blind. That's a bit of an eye-opener.
Although a small percentage, but
it's still there.
Someone going blind just by using
because they're
exactly.
And the hygiene, and how would they be? If they're not washing them properly, changing the solution?
It could be due to solution. It could be due to overuse of the contact lens. It could be your own personal hygiene.
Overuse of the contact lens would mean.
For example, if your contact lens is to be used for 1 month, they use it for 4 months, 5 months. Second thing, never ever sleep wearing the contact lens.
Never ever sleep wearing your contact lenses.
Yes.
Very important.
Normally,
even if you feel like you're just going to have a nap,
take them out.
Just do not do that. Take them
out.
Okay.
And then get them changed. If I say if you're using a monthly wear ones, just get it changed after 4 weeks, 28 days. Buy a new pair. And nowadays it's recommended go to the daily wear contact lenses. So you get rid of the solution. You don't need the solution, which can lead to infection. You just put the contact lens in at night, in the evening, just take them off and throw them away.
Right, okay.
Yes.
So that, you know, all really important bits of advice coming from Dr. Atif there. It's been wonderful having you both on the program. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, so we're going to have to wind up. But just before we go, a small message to our viewers. I'll start with you, Dr.
Get your eyesight
Atif.
checked regularly. If you find a problem, help is available, whether it's your healthcare professional, your family, your community support group, get help.
Right. And Rabil, what would you like to say at the end of the program?
And at the end, I want to say that media is the best medium for awareness. So in this channel, I am going to request to all of you, please spread awareness about blindness and each and everything. This is a white cane. This is a symbol of visual impaired person. And there are different type of things. Visual impaired use white cane, handicap use wheelchair. And so please, if you see any kind of visual impaired, so please help them and make your life beautiful and make his or her life beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you both of you. Thank you. Okay, and with that we come to the end of today's program. Certainly something that, you know, that was really informative, something that we got to learn a lot from Dr. Atif, and also Rabil giving her wonderful motivational story as well. So until next week, stay happy, stay healthy. Bye-bye.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PTV World News. I'm Vikas Ahmed with the headlines. Supreme Court issues notice to federal and Balochistan governments in a petition against transfer of expensive land in Gawada to the housing societies. NAB Court adjourns hearing of a flagship reference against Nawaz Sharif till Thursday. Judge expresses anger over ex-PM and his counsel's absence. Accountability Court reserves judgment on NAB's petition seeking auction of assets of former Finance Minister Hzw. NAB Court in Lahore sent senior bureaucrat Fawad Hassan Fawad on a 14-day judicial remand in Ashiana Iqbal housing case. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres expresses concern over the situation in occupied Kashmir, speaking ahead of his visit to India. Guterres encountered UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres expresses concern over the situation in occupied Kashmir. Speaking ahead of his visit to India, Guterres encourages positive dialogue to peacefully resolve disagreements. Army Jawan Riaz Ali, who embraced martyrdom in Swat, laid to rest in his native village in Matiari with a full military honor. Quake hit Indonesia starts burying bodies in a mass grave with space of more than 1,000 people 3 days after a 7.5 magnitude earthquake and tsunami devastated the island. The United States and Canada reach a new trade deal along with Mexico to replace the current Northern American Free Trade Agreement. That's all for now. For further details, please log on to our website www.world.com.pk. Bye for now. हाँ जी, हो गया गुजारा?